I'm in a new room. I moved. Oh no, please. Oh, my cat was sitting there for so long and now she decides to leave. So yeah, I moved. We're in a new room. We've got a new office. We have a new video background. Although it is pretty similar to the old video background. I didn't like buy all new furniture or anything. I did get a new chair though, so that's something. But I thought today, in honor of this new room and new background, I might try and build my new office in The Sims. Kind of show you around, show you what we're working with. I'd show you more of the house, but this is currently the only room that looks like it's furnished. So we're gonna start off with the office. Also, I'm still kind of trying to figure out lighting and stuff in here, so if it looks weird, just give me some time, okay? It's new. Oh, every time I try and make real life things in The Sims, I stress myself out. It's just weird because the scale is always so off. But like many rooms, this one is kind of a square. It is a little bit different though, because it's got like a couple weird things going on in it. It kind of has like a bit of a hallway, I guess. Like the door to the room is kind of over here and there's a bit of a walkway to get into it. I'd probably make this like, 1.5 tiles, but alas, we cannot. And then we also kind of have a weird little like nook right here because over in this room is where the air conditioning units are. So I don't have a closet in my office. I've got a door and then like an unfinished room with an AC unit and like extra roof shingles. Although I also put my hot dog costume in there, so that's kind of what's going on in this area. Maybe it's about like that big. I don't know. I don't really go in there much. I've not really analyzed the scale of that room. It doesn't even have like finished walls, so I don't think about it often. But this is the fun part. And maybe it's too big. Wait, hang on. Sorry. This is the fun part is a bit smaller than that. Okay, that's the fun part. I always have a hard time with the scale of windows too, because I think the window in here is a little bit bigger than that. Like maybe it needs to be like this big or something, like kind of go into the tile around it a tiny bit. So it's not 2 tiles wide, but it's not 1 tile wide. It's kind of in between. It's also not fancy like this. But maybe the scale of that makes a little bit more sense because it's just like a smidge bigger. But there's a window right there. You can kind of see my curtains and like the light coming through it behind me. I would like to announce that I hung up these curtains all by myself. Like I got my dad's drill and I drilled holes in the wall to put up pink curtains in my room, all on my own. And I didn't even mess up. I messed up the curtains in the other room, but not these. These are fine. No extra holes in the wall. Everything is level. I did a good job with those. We also have kind of like a lighter wood floor in here. And the walls are kind of like a creamy white color with the exception of this wall because I actually painted this one wall pink. I thought about wanting to paint my entire office pink. Like I kind of liked the idea of having pink on all of the walls in here. You can barely even tell. It's like a really, really light pink. Ooh, that's too dark. Oh, no. No way the game is classing that is pink. That is a stretch. Oh, that'll work. Okay. There's a very light pink like this on just that wall, but not all the rest for a couple reasons. I painted that wall myself and I started with that wall because I knew I wanted the background to be pink, but I was really worried about painting the wall in front of me pink because I don't want my face to be pink. I'm already pink enough as is. I don't want to look more pink because I've got pink lighting everywhere in this room. So I went for like a super light color and then kind of was wary about painting the rest of the walls. I might paint them eventually, but I haven't done it yet. I'm still worried about lighting. I'm still a little unsure about it. You and I are sitting right here, and I realize now that I can make the room smaller because this fits better with the scale. It's back to being square, but we're sitting here on my little desk. This is what my desk looks like. I've got a couple IKEA Alex drawers and an IKEA countertop on top. This is actually a 98-inch countertop that my dad and I sawed down to be a little bit smaller so it fit the wall better. The wall was 94 inches, and I cut the countertop down to more like 90. I didn't actually measure. I just sort of was like, Dad, cut it there, and then he did, and now it fits, so that's good. I know that's probably really horrifying to many of you, so I'm sorry if that upsets you, but that's what happened. I might actually use these nightstands to kind of mimic the like Alex drawer look. And then I have a little black desk chair, kind of like that. Okay, next to me, I also have like a little tiny bookshelf. That's just like a little Target bookshelf that happens to be the exact same height of the countertop and Alex drawer stacked together. So it kind of makes my desk feel like it's maybe a tiny corner desk. I used to keep my printer on it, but now I have like a lamp and a little candle and my headphones over here. Okay, let's see how well we can do this because it's probably going to be very annoying to try and place these things. We also don't have headphones that I can just like put here in The Sims. Right now it's a pumpkin candle, so I'll make it orange. I might use this to sort of mimic my PC, and we could probably use like a game console or something over here. Oh my god, okay, don't size it up. My My PC isn't that big. I have a big computer, but it isn't like that. We can just use this console here. Oh, I don't know. Do I need to make them look nice, or can I just like put the monitors there to get the point across? I've got 3. I have 3 monitors. In fact, I have so much random tech stuff that I have no idea how to mimic in The Sims. We at least have a camera and tripod that I can kind of put there. Mine is mounted on my desk, not clipping through the bottom of the desk, but that'll do. That's fine. I also keep like a little cork board and also a little calendar right here on the wall. Right now the page is green, so I'll do that to make it match. I don't have anything hung up on this wall just yet. It's hard to because I have like my camera, I've got my lights. I just have so many things here that are kind of tall, so it's hard to like put stuff behind the desk. Oh, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I have so many bookshelves in here. Obviously, I have a couple of these that go in the background, right? But I also have an IKEA Billy bookcase. You know what I'm talking about. That goes right here. Okay, and above it, I have a little neon sign. Twitch gave me a neon sign that says lilsimsie, and so I hung it up above this. It's like white and purple, not yellow and red. So I don't really know which one of these fits the best, but you get the point, right? And this bookshelf is like full of my little trinkets. It's got my books, it's got a bunch of little things, like little stuffed animals and, you know, stuff like that. Okay, and embarrassingly, I also have kind of like a little, I guess I'll call it a gallery wall, but not really. I have these like 2 cork boards and 2 magnet boards that I've had for a couple years, and I have them sort of like stacked like this. And so I put like all my tickets and like cute little papers I want to save on the cork boards, and then I have like magnets on the magnet boards. Okay, and you're gonna love this, but on this wall, I've got a Sims poster. I've had this for ages too, but back in the day, The Sims had a merch store, and they sold this, like a print of this poster, and I bought one, so I have it hung up right there when you first walk in. I'm telling you, this is the only room that I've actually furnished in my entire house. I mentioned it earlier, but like I hung up everything in here. I don't have anything else on any wall in my entire house, but this room is done. Okay, I want to scoot these closer together, but I have 2 that are actually this size. They're 3x3 from IKEA, and these 2 are, as you can see, just full of my things. I've got so many books and like little, again, trinkets. There's a YouTube plaque in one of them, you know, all that sort of stuff. I don't really know how to go about like replicating that, but I guess I could put some like, I don't know, a bunny, maybe a plant. It's just stuff like that. Some more books, bowling trophy, that could be fun. More books, I don't know, you get it. Okay, over here on this side, I actually have a basket. Well, okay, it's not a blanket basket because I don't have any blankets in it yet, but I just don't have any blankets to put in it. So I've got a basket that I will put a blanket in, like right there. It's cut off from frame, but it goes right there. And then I have like a little gray chair kind of in the corner. I don't like that because I don't like that pillow, and that's white. It's like a very soft gray. It's kind of round. It's actually kind of a round swivel chair. Maybe I could use that one. Although that's not what it looks like. Don't lie to yourself, Kayla. Why does nothing match? Why is nothing what this chair looks like? Honestly, that one might, you know, that kind of works. I'll scoot it over a bit because it's kind of like blocking one of the shelves. Okay, behind it, I have an extremely large fake plant that used to be in my kitchen. I've always had a real plant in my office. Like the old one was real. I've always had real plants back there. But now I've kind of like shoved it so far in the corner to be behind the chair. I don't know if it'll get enough light back there, and I also don't know if it'll be big enough to be visible behind the chair, so I decided to like swap the plants basically. So that thing back there is not real, but we also have a little tiny plant on a little side table. That one is real. That one in front of the window actually is a real plant. None of these do her justice. Like, this is just not the vibes. I'm sorry. Maybe this one is kind of similar. I don't know. That'll be fine. I like how it has a pink pot, actually. That's kind of cute. Now back there, you can also see my 1,000,000 subscriber plaque. I don't really know how to mimic that in The Sims either. It's like a big gold plaque. I know we have plaques, but aren't they like, okay, that's the police. We don't want that. This one's kind of gold. This might work. Oh, that'll work. Okay. And then I also have my 100K plaque for More Simsie, like hung above it, kind of like that. Believe it or not, I also hung these myself. I drilled holes in my wall yesterday and hung those up all on my own. I've always just used command strips for those, which is probably kind of dangerous because they did fall off my wall once. And the texture of the walls in my new house is like a lot rougher. They call it orange peel texture. It looks like this. And I tried to hang something with a command strip and it fell off so fast. So we're not trying anymore. I used a drill and I hung those up and they're pretty sturdy. If these fell, I would be devastated. I can't even begin to express how sad I would be if I broke one of these. I've actually got 3 YouTube plaques. I have those 2 hung up there. And then I have my first one. Where is it? Right there behind me. They look different because they changed the style of them at one point. I don't know. It's weird. But I have my plaques. Okay, and then these posters, these are kind of fun too. I actually have to go into debug to get these, but those are posters that are in the game as well. Those are actually prints of the posters from City Living. They gave me prints of 4 of them at the City Living Sims camp. So like literally years ago when City Living first came out, they flew us to California to play the City Living pack early. They can't do that anymore because of COVID, obviously, but back in the day when they were expansion packs, they would like fly us out to play the packs early. This was my first ever time going to an event like that. I had like 40,000 subscribers. I was kind of new. I didn't know anybody. It was the coolest thing that has ever happened to me, but they gave us prints of these posters and I've had them ever since. I should put them in the right order though, right? I have them kind of displayed like this on top of the shelves behind me. I also put like a little candle right here. Oh, that's floating. Okay, that's really good. We've got a candle there. You totally can't see it, but I also have this little like St. Jude lunchbox they gave me. I do a lot of fundraising for St. Jude on my Twitch channel, and so I have like a little St. Jude thing back there. Literally no clue what to use to symbolize that. I mean, like a ladybug? I kind of forget we have these. Maybe I will put that. What if I want a ladybug in my office? I can have one. I'll do what I want. Okay, and then I have like a little dangly plant right here. We don't have things like that in The Sims 4, so I don't know how to replicate that. It's like sitting on the shelf and then dangling down. We don't have anything like, I mean, we have this. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, don't do that. Don't size that down. That's not gonna work either. Maybe I'll just put like a random plant that sort of has similar vibes. Like, you know, if I had a little dog plant, I'd put it back there. Somehow my door has disappeared, but we also have a door right here into that like weird room I was telling you about. It's also kind of dark in there, so I should delete the light, but this room, not important. Literally, it has shingles in it. Like, we don't need to worry about that. But I also have a little tiny shelf right here. I know I have so many shelves, it's bad. I'm not really sure what would be similar in shape. Maybe something like this. It isn't this tall, but it's about that wide. And in that, I actually have a couple more of those little cube things, and I keep all kinds of cords in there. So I bought it because I used to have a closet that I could actually put things in my office. And so I had a lot of random cable storage, but I needed a little bit more. So I have a shelf thing for stuff like that right here. And last, but certainly not least, we also have a little rug in this room. I don't really know what is similar to it in the game. I'm almost leaning towards this just because it sort of has similar vibes. The rug is actually this one from IKEA. So it kind of looks nothing like this, but I don't really know what does look like it. So I'm just gonna use this one. And that, my friends, is my entire new office. Here's a couple actual pictures of the room just to give you a bit more of an idea of what I'm talking about, because I've been sat here being like, here's where this thing goes, and you can't see it. So this is the room. I am so happy in this house. And with this office, honestly, I know it looks really similar to my last office. So honestly, I could probably get away with being like, oh yeah, I just got a new chair and painted the wall, and people would probably think it's the same space, but I did move. Even down to this, like my old office kind of had a little hallway thing too, except in my old office, it was a bit more like this, and there was a door right here into a closet. But like even my old room was kind of shaped like this as well, which is kind of funny to think about. But I used to have my desk like here, and the windows were on this side. Not that you care. But I can link that video that I made where I built that office in The Sims in case you want to go back and see it. Change is always super weird, I know, but hopefully it's still familiar because I feel comfortable in here. And also my cat plan has worked. I know she left when I started recording, but I bought this chair and put a chair right there specifically in hopes that my cat would spend a lot of time in that chair. I even have a webcam like already set up on a tripod ready so that I can film her for cat cams on my streams. And the other night when I was in here like putting all my books away, she came in here on her own. She went straight to the chair and she fell asleep. She was like face planting into my Pietro plushie as well. I didn't even have to try and convince her to like it. She just likes the chair. So cat cams incoming, hopefully on stream. And I think on that note, I'm gonna cut this video right here. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching. I've got a bunch of fun videos coming soon, although there is a hurricane coming to Florida this week. So I'm doing my best to pre-record just in case we lose power, but if I missed any uploads, bear with me. It's super out of my control. Like with the move and also the store, the timing could not be worse. So hopefully to those of you who are also in Florida, we'll all be safe and okay through this one, but I'll keep you all updated, of course. And with that being said, I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. Would it be ridiculous to put a cat cam on my YouTube videos? Like if she was hanging out in here while I was recording a video, is that too much to put it in the video as well? Like is the stream the right amount, or is YouTube cat cam too far? Let me know.